BMG is playing thanks for the MMR in the losers bracket, and they are still playing theirs, it looks like. So I don't know exactly the score of the series, but we'll keep an eye on them. Night Raid also playing Mewtwo. Okay, it's 1-1. There you go. Night Raid also playing, though, and they're tied 1-1 as well, as it shows on the bracket. So a couple of teams that are trying to get back to the Diamond Division. Only one of those can technically make it because they're in the losers already. Kulo versus Shrek is Love are in the winner bracket finals of that. I guess I could have shown that on the screen here to make it a little bit easier. Again, you can go to HauntTour.com and check it out for yourself as well. But there you go. So keep an eye on that there.
Yeah, I think they're in the game 3, and Haxion's picked up Kronos, man. Kronos carry.
Really?
It's pretty strong. Yeah.
Kronos carry.
Cool. Anyway.
Interesting. Anyways, back to this one here. We got our game 3 that to cast, of course, and looking forward to it. Riftwalker coming out there for good old Tree. That's always fun to see. They got Kraken, Dr. Pulsar on top of that. Glacius Puppet Master so far coming out from mid. So it seems like Probus going to go to a very conventional hard carry here. Unlike the first 2 games, really, and the Vindicator and then Valkyrie.
I think it's more to do with the Dr. Repulsor pick, really, because it was straight. I think it was snap pick straight after the Dr. Repulsor. So I think they wanted to decide to sort of shut down Balthazar. Like you said, in game 2, he just got onto like a complete domination streak, and there's not much that Mint did to really try and shut him down. But at least with this Puppet Master pick, Probus might be able to pick up an early Assassin's Shroud and then to try and rotate for a gank before maybe the Null Stone's picked up from Dr. Repulsor and get a couple of kills on him there, try and shut him down. And Deadwood picked up, actually.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There we go, the Deadwood again, a hero that we saw a couple times last weekend as well. Kind of popping up because of the buffs that he received, and some person by the name of Swinamel is also making a point of it on a cast that we did recently. So how strong this hero actually is now once again. So yeah, Mint's going to get their hands on it, and looking forward to seeing how that plays out for them. Oh, you see right there, Quincy, making a point about the Gold Division. So Shrek is Love will be back in Diamond for cycle number 8, which is the final cycle once again. So that's pretty important there, as they apparently played their winter bracket finals already on Friday. So looking forward to seeing them back in cycle 8, that is, for what will be the final one again. Anyways, the bands continuing on now. Parasite, Madman, Keeper of the Forest, Devourer coming out here so far. So why do you think the Deadwood? Is there any purpose here specifically, or is it just because he got buffs?
I think it's I think it's less so about the hero, but more so about the change in sort of style and draft from Mint. The last 2 games they've been playing a lot of team fight heavy sort of push in that respect. I think in this game they want to try something different because game 2 was a complete stomp, put simply. They want something that can gank and have an impact earlier on, but also in terms of mid to late game with sort of pick-offs. And Puppet Master was the first pick to sort of shut down maybe the Dr. Repulsor, and Deadwood's just one of those good heroes that can gank and have an impact and can really shut down any sort of split push that Tree might try and do. And actually Deadwood's still not too bad against Dr. Repulsor as well, although obviously he might pick up a Null Stone, he can still chuck the Logger and then ulti straight after. And just ways to give Mint some gank potential, but also sort of lock down the Dr. Repulsor if they need to. So less so about the Deadwood, but more against the strategy from Mint, what they're going to try and play this game, I think.
Yeah. Well, so Valkyrie, that final band coming out right here. Again, the Legionnaire, the one before that, too, coming out from Tree. So, yeah, Tree really taking away a lot of those jungle options here from what would be Iceland Go-Go, most likely. The player, of course, to play the jungle role for Mint over here. Torture is going to be their pick out of the second tier of bands coming out for Tree in the process. That's their main support, most likely, as we've seen many times before, with the secondary support Riftwalker here. You'd figure with what they have on the board, they will probably still be looking for a suicide option here. I want to see them go back to the roots in a sense and pick up some Geomancer, man. He got some decent buffs too this last patch, and a hero that Boxy has ran before in that suicide.
It would have good synergy with Riftwalker as well, like a Riftwalker on top of the Geozo, where you can do a lot of work, to be fair. I think it depends whether Tree, what kind of timing they want to hit. If they get like a Geomonster, it doesn't have the greatest of impact in the later stage of the game. Obviously they've got the Dr. Repulsor and the Kraken, but they might feel they might need a little bit more late game presence, maybe like the Madman, even the Curse, honestly, could have rotated decently in the late game. And Tundra, man. I mean, I said actually in the game, or about the sort of strategy of Mint, they want to sort of find pickoffs, they want to maybe get aggressive, get some good gank potential, and Tundra, one of those heroes, perfect for sort of getting that vision and then getting pickoffs after that. So they're really going in for this strategy. And then Cursed again, man. I said it, but I didn't think it was going to happen. Though,
yeah. Well, no, I actually thought it could have because, I honestly think it even has stronger potential this game because of a hero like Puppet Master.
Yeah. And
The
Tundra.
Fire Shield's very good. Yeah, Tundra with the lockdown. That just
Look at it.
any heavy teams. I mean, Accursed is actually pretty decent against them. So
Like, think of this, Braggy. Like, Tundra's going to jump in, ulti someone, and if this, like, if he's level 16, a 4-second stun, like, that's one of the longest stuns in HOM. A Curse, if he's in good position, he could fire shield that off completely, and negates Tundra's ulti completely. Like, that's such a big pick, and also, you know, if he gets good farm like he did in Game 2, he can even rotate into a late game carry. So, yeah, man, I'm liking the pick, and although we sort of flirted around it not being banned, maybe it should have, because clearly they picked it up here, and they feel comfortable with it, so...
interesting final pick with that last. That's going to be a secondary support here. Luna going to be coming out here from Mint. Again, not your everyday support nowadays, but want to take advantage of perhaps that power throw and the range that it brings,
definitely.
and just gank potential too that she can bring. So
it's just that extra bit of 350 magic damage is really nice. And they've got good setup with Puppet Master, Tundra, and Deadwood for any kind of gank. It's almost guaranteed to hit. So I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll definitely love that Accursed pickup, though, once again coming out from Tree, and the potential, like I said, this game it just even seems like it could be more powerful, at least throughout now. Now, in the laning phase, I'm not as certain. Well, now, with that said, though, because, as we stated, though, last game going up against the Glacius, how it's strong against him because he could just use it even through the Ice Imprisonment. Could be the same case here if that's how Mint lanes it, actually. So, that's, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to have a harder laning phase this game than he did in Game 2, because in Game 2, not only did it completely negate the Glaciers, but Tempest was AFK farming the jungle, so really he was 1v2, and Valkyrie, you know, didn't give the greatest of lane presence either, because obviously he's focused on last hits than he is trying to get kills or get harassment onto the Curse. But in this case, they've got a Glacius and a Luna to box him out completely, so I think Box will have a lot less farm, but him as a hero will have a lot more impact, as you stated before. You know, great against the Tundra, great against the Puppet Master, even the Deadwood to an extent. To really counteract the instant sort of burst potential that Mint have, and I think definitely in this game, I think he's going to pick up a portal key just because he can have the better positioning. But how he's going to farm that is going to be another question.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer here as the pause comes out yet again here to kick off now what is game number 3, and again the final game, of course, as a result. So once again, guys, going to be covering through this game here, and which will be the finish of the series no matter what happens, but going to be jumping into then Sync versus Reason Gaming, and definitely looking forward to that one as well, because, you know, obviously Sync, very familiar territory. They've been there every cycle, actually, in the Winter Bracket Finals at the very least. However, Reason Gaming has never been there. They've always been knocked down to the losers bracket beforehand, so this is going to be their first shot at the Winter Bracket Finals, and again, going up against Sync. And we've stressed so many times how just extra important it is to get to the Grand Finals from the Winter Bracket Finals. Is so important on so many levels. So, and Reason Gaming definitely, you know, they've been really coming back strong lately on the scene, and I have a feeling they're going to give Sync a run for their money in what would be a great Winter Bracket Finals once again. So, but we got a awesome Game 3 as well ahead of us here, so resuming on with that. Both teams could be meeting up here with the direction that they're heading in, actually. You even see Puppet Master even already at the Congo Pit area.
They got similar level 1 potential as well, because neither team has a jungler, so I think they're quite equal in terms of level 1 ganks. I think Tree might be a little bit stronger because they have the Accursed, but overall I think Mint have good level 1 engagement. Depends if they meet each other, though, is the question.
Yeah. No, I'm going to fall back before any engagement does happen. It looks like so Mint will get some free reign here in the Legion jungle and possibly get some wards down. Again, not necessarily going up against a jungle hero is either side for that matter, but at the same time, taking away the potential. Perhaps the pull is important, or even placing one right here, apparently. You see Serenia going for a pretty aggressive ward site early on in the game, getting some roaming presence and some vision there for the team. Interesting how Tree's doing this, by the way. They got Torturer, Riftwalker, top, so they're going to Trilane with a Cursed?
I think they realised that Trilane's coming out from Mint, and I think Mint's tri-lane's a little bit stronger with the Glacius, a Luna plus the Puppet Master, so I think Tree just want to completely dodge it. And what they're doing here is they're just sending a Suicide Hero down bottom, Krake, because he can soak up experience, and at the same time should be able to dodge any ganks because of the Tsunami charge. If they send down a Curse, they can probably kill him, and at the same time, they don't want to put Kraken in the tri-lane because he needs to get those early levels. So, and while also giving Dr. Repulsor a free lane in the middle lane. But in this case, Deadwood isn't the greatest suicide potential. I think if there's going to be one lane that they're going to get kills on, it's going to be top lane if Riftwalker and Torture can team up properly here on the Deadwood.
Yeah, you look now. The supports have not shown themselves, so I would not be. If Min has the idea that they're possibly going to be popping out bottom here, let's be ready for it. But ooh, he was kind of pushed up right there. I was going to say the supports were kind of running away, but I still don't know if they've actually been seen yet.
I think if they're going to kill him, they have to get a Seer level 1. I think, and that might be the only way they can kill him.
Yeah.
They've seen him anyway, so
okay.
That's fine.
The Torture's up here.
Yeah, because Kraken could still easily die as well, obviously, if he doesn't get the charge off. He has to play incredibly passive, but, a Curse isn't the greatest sort of kill potential at early levels, but they can still do it if Torture and Riftwalker play it correctly, and they're going to pull the lane as well, so they're going to get lane control and completely box out the Deadwood, which is the right play to make, so just good play coming out from Tree.
Pulling into the Catman Champion camp right here, and you see Deadwood's going to kind of roam over again. His pole camp is also blocked, so similar to the first game. Not expecting him to have the best time. Now Zibby, the one playing Puppet Master, by the way. So you got Probusk on Tundra. Now he's known for playing a very, very awesome Tundra. Back when he was even a part of Denial at the time, of course. So that's so perhaps just more of the comfort factor kind of kicking in there.
Definitely. Yeah, comfort factor cannot be overstated. Like as we saw in game 1 with just Tree as a team overall, and I don't really think so. It's crazy though how Tundra was like a first tier pick to just barely ever seen, and now it's coming back. I don't know, man. It's crazy how heroes can be like that.
Yeah. You see a little bit of roam here towards the middle. Glacius and Luna heading on over now. They're looking for Kraken still, I believe, as they were kind of following him earlier. You see he's kind of hiding in the trees. Going to spot him right here, and actually Kraken might be some trouble, but so many of the supports, they're going to possibly get a bloodlust. No, he's just out of range now. Here comes the supporting cast. Torture ports in, and Dr. Pulsar also comes over, and they get the kill first onto Glacius to start things off 1-0 right here. Yeah, those supports really diving quite far.
Oh!
Was it the courier? Oh, that was the courier, yeah. I thought he was just putting an auto attack, but yeah. Well, that's a dead courier now, too. That was still a ground courier. On top of that all. That's just one of those other things where it's like, ugh, gotta get that upgrade. Now, Glacius does buy another one right away.
It's only 100 gold now after the buff, so it's not too bad, but yeah, still an impact. So yeah, they've rotated actually Luna down middle. They're trying to get off the gank on Dr. Repulsor, which is the right play to make, because as long as they can kill him before level 6, they'll be fine. Actually, top lane, Deadwood and Curse going at it. But
nice dodge by Boxy right there. He did not have his fire shield, so if he got caught by the rotten grasp, he was probably dead actually. So it's well played on his part. He's playing aggressive again. Here comes Riftwalker. That's why Deadwood's now in a lot of trouble. He realizes this, and down he goes. Really though, a Curse is one of these heroes where it's like you may think like, oh yeah, this should be an easy kill. And then it's not, because of Fire Shield, because of his ultimate, especially when he gets that. It's just, it feels like you have a kill. You just really have to keep that in mind. He's a very different hero to play against, is safe to say. So
yeah, it's quite funny how we sort of thought that Boxy wouldn't get a lot of farm this game, but as obviously they've done a tri-lane, he's getting really good farm actually, and I think he's going to have a big impact. The one issue though is that obviously Kraken is not going to get an early portal key, he's going to get a very, very late portal key, so in terms of ganks, they're going to be reliant on the Dr. Repulsor to get these kills, and Battle's obviously being a hard carry player, he's going to most likely be sort of focused on farming than he is in ganking, and that could have an impact, but at the same time, I don't know if Tree really want to focus on kills and sort of ganking. The reason being is because Mint, they're going to be able to react so well because they've got Puppet Master, Tundra, and Deadwood, so perhaps they're going to maybe be less focused on ganking heroes and just trying to maybe take this late with a Kurt's carry. I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but I think this might be the style of play they have to do, because Kraken, he's not going to have any impact without that portal key. So I don't know how Tree are going to resolve it.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Again, so I got to assume a Curse is going to be going to a very similar build that he did last game, definitely. With,
I don't see why not.
especially the start that he has this time around. You know, last game he didn't even have the best start, honestly.
Yeah.
It just eventually kind of developed it. It gave him ancient priority, and went from there. But yeah, he's having a great time, as you pointed out. He does have the crushing claw. I wonder if he's going to turn that into, say, a blood chalice, or if he's just going to have it for early on. And now he's in a little bit of trouble right here. Oh, he barely dodges that rotten grasp. Again, it's not easy. Now, he did have a fire shield, so probably would not have killed him, but very, very close.
Oh, Glacius.
Got to be careful, though. Glacius, middle lane, not the same story as far as getting away. He gets charged on, he eventually falls, as he was kind of in an awkward spot in the first place. Guess they just caught him out there roaming over as a curse. Now, is he in trouble once again?
Oh,
the Devil going in? No, but here comes the bait. Yep, just like before. It's deja vu all over. Smackdown kill on top. And now he has his ultimate on top of this, too, so got to be careful against that. Actually, he doesn't get his ultimate. That's kind of curious.
He doesn't need it, though. He doesn't, like, the flame consumption is not needed, and it does not help him in terms of the laning presence or ganking potential. If he maxes or gets high level in fire shield, at least he can get a little bit more damage. It's only maybe a couple of magic damage, but it's a lot more useful than the flame consumption, because they're not going to be taking team fights, and flame consumption isn't greatest in terms of the laning phase, and I don't think he feels threatened in terms of dying, so he can go with more aggressive builds.
Middle lane, Tundra getting caught out here once again as well, as he throws out his avalanche. Go for the turn, go Doctor Pulsar, not going to be enough damage initially, but Puppet Master will make sure of that. Yes, he will. With that Voodoo Puppet, also puts Torture in place, and down he goes, and a double tap for Zibbe, playing the Puppet Master. So very good port in on his part, able to get in there and actually set up some counter kills. So 2-for-1 exchange. Glacius farming away at the bottom lane in the meantime. He actually was level 1. He just hit level 2 as a result of all this, and that's got to feel pretty good, as getting some free farm here because of what just happened. So at least a couple of kills finally coming out for Mint right there. And again, Puppet Master, the one to get those kills. So he's now at 430 gold per minute just about. Zibby's off to that great start, 1,500 gold saved up. As usual, though, with the Puppet Master, what are you thinking here? The Assassin Shroud or the Whispering Hail makes sense?
I think it's going to be the Assassin Shroud, because I mentioned it before. I think they want to get quite aggressive and quite gank. Actually, Curse top lane, he might be in trouble. Tundra's rotated over, but no.
Well, he has his flame consumption now as he is level 7. So this is what I was going to say. It's one of those, it doesn't cost any mana, and it's just, having it to be safe is good. Now he uses it right there, and here comes the supporting cast. All of a sudden now Delwood, he's being chased down yet again. This is now the third time this has happened. They go for a kill himself onto a Cursed, and completely gets turned.
They just simply can't kill him.
No.
And, yeah, just, again, good play. But going back to the Assassin's Shroud on Puppet Master, so it looks like he's going to go, he's already picked up the Steam stuff, and I think it's the way forward. They picked up the early Puppet Master sort of as a counter towards the Doctor Repulsor, and then they follow up with Deadwood and Tundra. So the game plan here from Mint is quite obvious. They want to get early kills, they want to get aggressive and really take it to Tree. Obviously at the start in terms of the laning phase, Tree are doing just very, very good, and I think this comes down to actually the rotations from the supports. Although Glacius is level 3 now, like he was level 1 for a long time, whereas the supports on Tree was a little bit more. Boxy does die actually.
That's got to feel pretty good. That's got to feel pretty good for Labyrinth right there. The Falcon Punch to finish him off. But again, it was very close. If he was able to get that R off right there, then that could have been a completely different story. But yeah, it was a good lockdown from the beginning. The Avalanche came out on top of the Rotten Grasp, and that time a Curse did not have a clue that they were coming to gank him. So well played on their part, and they sure enough secure a kill onto him, and that slows down his farm a little bit. Again, he's been the top farmer for his team at least. Now he's dropping down to about 365 gold per minute. Bottom lane, Wormhole initiation. Not going to be the prettiest for me to see. We don't say that often, as it hits nobody. Glacius also being chased down, however, and he eventually will get taken out. So they do get something out of it, but Puppet Master was able to react before he got caught right there. And that's obviously good news for Mint. And I will say, though, so what do you think here now? Puppet Master's still at the bottom lane. Do they really just need to rotate him to the top, you think, and say, Deadwood, get out of here?
It's going to be the safest play to make, and maybe rotate. I mean, they don't even have to rotate anyone in the bottom lane, really. They can probably start farming the jungle, even the Ancients with Tundra. He's got levels, rank or max level on his Q, so he doesn't even need to go to the short lane. But they need to get Puppet Master out of this bottom lane, though, because as you can see, although Glacius died there, that could have been an easy death on Puppet Master. And seeing as he's the only one doing well, they need to secure the farm on him. And although Deadwood's having a hard time, I think just put him mid and allow Puppet Master to in the short lane. Seeing as Puppet Master isn't going Whispering Helm, like he can't farm the jungle as a sort of sustainability. So I think they need to get Puppet Master out of this bottom lane though, because he's just in too much danger, I think.
Yeah. Well, he's going to stay there for the time being. We'll see how much longer that lasts, though. So, Deadwood, he does have his steam boots here. Again, not having the prettiest start, only about 207 gold per minute. Dr. Repulsor is a little bit locked down here, but yeah, no Tundra in time. He's running over, but the Avalanche cannot get there in time, and thus no 3-second stun. That actually would have been a kill if he was able to get it, because Deadwood was also coming. So, Dr. Repulsor feeling pretty lucky to an extent, but able to use his skill set to get away, of course. Accursed just finished his Abyssal Skull, actually, so a slight difference here, at least initially.
Well, I think he would have got that before in the last game, but Swiftblade already picked up instead. I said the main reason why he picked up Life Regen, I think it was just so he could farm Ancients. Like, I can't stress it enough, but farming Ancients just gives so much more room for the rest of his team. Like, if he doesn't farm Ancients, then he's taken up farm maybe mid, where someone else could have got it, for example. Even if it's a secondary support, you know, the supports need to farm too, so it just gives him just ability to farm anywhere on the map, which I think is a big factor. Because if they go on him, he could just sort of fire shield out and just maybe TP away, for example. So it's just it's a big factor. And look what he's doing. He's just farming the enemy jungle because he's like, yeah, I don't care. It's manly.
Why not? He's got the life regen, and you know that on top of the fire shield, it makes it not only a farming tool, but helping to keep yourself alive throughout farming it up. Top lane, they really want to gank him yet again, though. Now again, he has flame consumption. There's the initial Falcon Punch. Out comes the flame consumption, but I don't see him getting away from this. He does have a fire shield. He can't even get it off. Though the lockdown, they used a lot right there. 3 ultimates, but hey, they kill Accursed. You know, remnants of the first game, or the second game, I should say, with that said. You know, they were 3-4-man ganking Accursed last game, and we all know how that turned out in the end. So, going to be a little bit careful with that. But the sim is a little bit, they don't have a free farming Swiftblade either.
Oh, Puppet Master.
Doing crazy. Puppet Master, yeah, he gets jumped. That was a wormhole initiation, and this time he does land it. And he gets the kill, so that doesn't help it either. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
that was such a good trade, actually. Oh, they're going to lose to the mid tower, but not the biggest of deal. Yeah, like, seeing, as long as, I think for Tree, like, they've got sort of 2 heroes that can sort of take it to the late game. Tree with Dr. Repulsor and Accursed. Oh, Dr. Repulsor!
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Those piercing shards, quite the distance there.
Man, I was just gonna say they need to make sure that they keep Dr. Repulsor farming though, because he's gonna be the one that can carry them into the late game. Whereas for Mint, it's really only the Puppet Master. Yeah, Deadwood can have an impact, but with the start he's got, he's not going to be able to snowball. So it's going to be all on the Puppet Master. Whereas Tree, at least they can sort of share the load with Accursed and Dr. Repulsor, as long as obviously they continue farming. But after that death, it's a little bit of a setback here for Tree.
Yeah, you do look at, and again, it's as flashy as it is and as fun as it is to talk about. Is an Accursed getting great farm like this going to be that big? I know you're getting at that earlier, yeah, you know, relying on him perhaps to be an ultimate hard carry, but and the possibility, but is he going to out-carry a Puppet Master? You know, probably
no, he won't.
not.
He's not going to be able to out-carry him, but with Dr. Repulsor as well, I'd definitely say you can. Like, you get him 6-slotted, and like you have trouble killing him now, but with even more items, it's going to be even harder kind of thing. So, yeah. I mean, I've talked a lot about breaking now, so I've got to stick to my word, man. Carry Accursed. It's a thing. And I believe in it.
Well, yeah, no, we're most certainly. And again, in the game, especially when they final picked it, it made even, you can argue, more sense than the last game as far as why it was picked up, because of how powerful that fire shield's going to be against this Hellborn team. But there's a lot that needs to happen here. Shiver is actually going to be scattered out by, not really scattered out, more so the Shiver ran right into him, to be fair. So, Probuska, not micromanagement. The best right there, but hey, sometimes it happens. You can, of course, just spawn some more here shortly and continue to scout with them. Bottom lane, a little bit of push coming out. Glacius and Puppet Master. You also have Deadwood nearby. He's looking for an opportunity, but as you see on the minimap, nobody in the vicinity from the Legion team. They're busy actually taking their own Ancients out. Accursed kind of getting a good amount of the farm here, looks like, as Dr. Repulsor also going to camp the top room, which happens to be a refreshment. Bottom room is regen. We'll see if somebody picks that up soon. But there is a port now to the bottom tower here. Hellborn team will see that. Question is, will scare them off or not? Kraken, oh, he dodged these rotten grass, man. That's not the easiest ability to dodge, but they're managing to avoid it.
It is a hard ability to hit them because it's so unpredictable as well. Like, as long as they see you, they're going to run like the complete opposite way. So it is hard to hit. But yeah, I mean, the Puppet Master's picked up the Assassin's Shroud, but to be fair, I don't think he's been ganking as much as perhaps he should, really. I mean, they've picked up these 3 core heroes that all have great ganking ability. Even the Luna, adds so much to these sort of ganks, yet they just haven't been able to find them. But I think it's because they haven't been looking, honestly. Now they're sort of grouping up here, trying to maybe put some pressure onto their curse, actually.
They're going for that. Puppet Show's applied. He's able to use a fire shield, though, now, so he wasn't actually close enough to anyone initially with that Puppet Show, and that's what kind of caused the issue right there. So he is able to get away as he applies the fire shield and plays it safe, but here comes the middle push now. Yeah, I kind of think Tree does not want to give this up willingly, or does not want to just give it up, obviously. So they're gonna definitely fight it off actually in the end, and they will be fine. You see the Shiver again, kind of scouting things out, but right now Mint has retreated themselves, so no initiation going to be coming out other than the bottom lane. Actually, Kraken gets pulled back in and eventually finished off. Puppet Master using that Assassin Shroud once again with the Voodoo Puppet set up to get a guaranteed kill. It feels like. On cue, so well played by Zibby. He's now 4-1-0, 432 gold per minute. It's safe to say, again, we're giving him negative criticism last game, and deservedly so on the Drunken Master because of just how the game played out for him, but different story this time around. Playing the carry Puppet Master, and he is having a great time, and that's exactly what Fresh needed here in game number 3. So good to see for them. Overall,
Kraken's actually... Yeah, Cracky's actually going. It looks like he's actually going to rush an Astrolabe. Actually, he's picked up the Bracer. And this is something that he used to do all the time whenever he played solo mid. Like for example, I've seen him do it on Bubbles even, but he does it on like Midas or Kraken sometimes as well. And in this game, I can understand it because obviously he had such terrible farm because obviously he's tri-lane against, but at the same time, like Kraken Portal Key is so cool. It's like getting Portal Key on Pebbles. Like you'd never see Astrolabe on Pebbles because of this reason. Like you have to get it because without it, he has no way of really closing the distance to really get a charge off on top of a release the Kraken. And I think it's so cool because they don't have any really initiation outside of maybe the Doctor Pulsar and Riftwalker. So although he's picked up the Bracer now, I really hope he sort of just saves and goes for the Portal Key because I think without it, I think Tree might struggle.
Yeah. Oh, we got a Tablet of Command on Puppet Master. That is not your usual pickup. Interesting.
I think the only kind of reason why they might have picked up is because obviously the Kraken ultimate, for example, and with him not having the Portal Key, there's no way they can, Kraken can instantly burst him down and go for ways in terms of initiation. And I mean, it's good overall. Maybe even against perhaps if they spot out Riftwalker, they can tablet him away. But yeah, you're right, Breaky. It's very unconventional, and to me, they want to get aggressive. Honestly, if they pick up this tablet this early, top lane Doctor Pulsar, it's going to get picked off.
That's why Puppet Master is a great hero against Doctor. Exactly right there. Has multiple abilities to just keep him in place, and that wasn't even a Voodoo Puppet needed. Obviously, he had the Luna support, sure, but Dr. Pulsar, as soon as that jump happened, didn't really stand a chance. Nothing he could have actually done right there. So, well played, and hey, got a kill with the tablet, so obviously a great pickup there now. But, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that develops with him, because it does, again, take away more from his ultimate damage potential, but at the same time, having utility is not necessarily the worst thing in the world either. Again, as you pointed out, with heroes like Kraken on the other side, it's definitely a solid item to have as a team, let alone as an individual hero. So, a couple of portal keys have been picked up now. Tundra and Deadwood both get their portal keys. That's a good cue once again for Mint to possibly get a little more active now. Tundra, we've seen the Shiver constantly out and about, as you would expect to see in any good Tundra player's hands. No different here with Robusca, of course.
I'd really like to see them just use the Tundra Bird to fly into the Legion jungle, and both Deadwood and Tundra smoke up and try and kill this Doctor Repulsor because he's trying to farm the Nullstone, and because when they pick up the Nullstone, I don't think they're going to be able to kill the Doctor Repulsor if Balthazar has quick enough fingers. So I'd like to see them just sort of try and find the Doctor Repulsor and try and shut him down. He's quite far away from the Nullstone, and just make sure he continues to do that. And as long as they have the Tundra Bird, they shouldn't really get caught out by any kind of smoke ganks because they can see where all of Tree is. But Tundra, I don't know, he just seems to be busy on farming. He's going to go in here on the cursed middle lane.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm watching the bottom lane initiation too, and yeah, they jump in and get the one kill. There's a couple of kills happening, but at what cost here? Deadwood, the turn kill is real. Dr. Pulsar and Torturer. A couple more auto attacks should do the job, and there we go. He's trying to cut through the trees. Not going to happen, though. So, yeah, a couple of jumps right there by Fresh. They end up getting 2 kills, but they do lose Deadwood in the process. However, though, again, ultimately coming out on top as far as numbers are concerned. And this could very likely, it's going to be a tower kill. Will it be denied? Is the question. Kraken nearby is going to play this pretty risky. There is the invulnerability. Yeah, he kind of wants to. Not really. It's like just not worth it. and he does fall back in the end. So overall, the sequence of events right there, safe to say, I think Mint came out on top in the end. 2-for-1 and a tower trade, and including Puppet Master staying alive through all of it. And increasing that farm once again. Going to go over to triple stack jungle, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, not to really critique Probus, because I know he's a great Tundra player, like, and I mean, I can barely play Tundra myself, but like he seems to really be more focused on trying of using the Shiver to block the Ancients, which is, yeah, don't get me wrong, it's fine, but it seems a little bit one-dimensional on what he's using with the Shiver for. Like, the ability to give so much vision in terms of, you know, the Legion jungle, or just, you know, tree in general, to really utilise the sort of gank potential of Puppet Master and Deadwood. Like, I think if you had the Shiver Bird down bottom, I don't think Deadwood was going to get picked off from the Doctor Repulsor. But he's just so focused on sort of blocking these Ancients and sort of reducing the farm from tree, when I think he should be using the Shiver to try and find out, you know, and try and find these kills, because they have the ability to do so. And so I would like to see him maybe use the Shiver more in an aggressive tone than a defensive passive tone.
Yeah. Well, Cursed working up towards that Insanitarius once again, as we mentioned before. And so last game, there's the Insanitarius with the Abyssal Skull. Bottom lane, Deadwood has the Invis. The Veiled Rot, to be specific, and looking for the opportunity, but probably doesn't want to be taking any opportunity here, as there is most certainly other heroes nearby, and I hope he is aware of that, because right now he doesn't have any support himself. He does have a level 2 Willowmaker, but would not even be able to get a kill on either one of these heroes, I don't think it's safe to say. Doctor also has that double damage rune, and is going to be pushing the bottom lane with the rest of his team joining him, it looks like. Torture, Riftwalker coming in. There's Kraken. Nope, Kraken actually put in top lane. You want to defend that tower from being pushed in, but Accursed is actually going to make his way to the bottom lane instead. And we have initiation, though. Yep, that's Deadwood jumping in initially. Wormhole coming out, though. The point, there's a big Wormhole initiation as usual. Deadwood goes down, and so will Tundra. No, he gets the avalanche off. He's going to barely survive in the background some way, somehow, but not the same story for Glacius right there, as Puppet Master is able to fall back before too much happens to him, but they get the tower kill, a 2-for-0 exchange in the tower kill, and they're going to fall back from that. So.
Oh, man. That initiation was abysmal from Labyrinth. I thought, like, maybe he just didn't realise the Battlezar had the Nullstone, but he jumped in, ultied onto the Nullstone, onto Dr. Pulsar. The ulti didn't go off, and as a result, got turned on instantly. Like, maybe he didn't realise, but he should have obviously just chucked the tree onto Dr. Repulsor to stop the Nullstone, or to take off the Nullstone, and then ulti after that. But he just ultied a Nullstone Dr. Repulsor, and just as a result, cost him his life.
Yep, that's usually not the best ability to be removing Nullstones with, so definitely a miscue there, and Baltazar is just farming away before heading back to base, and going to get that regen kicked in. Again, I keep glancing up at the scoreboard every now and then at the top, and this is just even, man. The golden experience practically identical here, and nearly 23 minutes into the game at this point, so as far as that's concerned, it suggests that this is an even game, and I think it's safe to say you can pretty much say that too. Both teams have good things going for themselves, but the biggest one being, though, of course, that Puppet Master at nearly 500, well, is 500 gold per minute even, and in fact, there you go, has a Shrunken Head now finished. So again, it went a little more utility with the Tablet Command, a little different after the Assassin Shroud, but also has a Shrunken Head now, so he's got a good mix of items here, it's safe to say. Still has plenty of damage potential, with the ability to survive quite effectively. Probusk actually getting his Puzzle Box minions here. Currently level 1, but has it nonetheless. That's obviously, it can prove to be pretty effective for him and his team in the long run. Dr. Repulsor, I assume the Hellflower is going to be next in line. It looks like, yeah, here he has a Steam Staff. So a little bit of time here, but that'll be the eventual goal, is safe to say. No Congo attempts coming out just yet from either team. I'm sure that'll start to be of interest for both teams in the near future. Wondering also when Soul's Bulwarks, perhaps, and more so on the Hellborn side, I think they could definitely use one for the aggressive, perhaps the Deadwood or the Tundra. Let's get it picked up here.
Yeah, I'd actually like to see Dr. Pulsar turn his Gravelock into a
Sackstone?
Yeah, Sackstone.
Nah.
And it was on the tip of my tongue, man. Yeah, because it's really, really good though. Because like any sort of jump from the Deadwood or even the Puppet Master, it could be the difference between him dying and not because of the increased physical armor. It's a small thing, but I think it should be noted because he's going to keep the Grave Locket for probably the maybe next big item or even 2 next big items. So I think he's going to get good use out of it if he buys it now, perhaps. But probably just focusing on the Hellflower as quick as possible. But also, I don't know. It just seems we've seen a lot of gank potential coming out from the Deadwood and even the Puppet Master. But we haven't seen too much from Tundra, and I don't know if this is sort of the syndrome of Proboss being in sort of all carry mode. I mean, he's got good GPM, like 350 is decent, but at the same time, we haven't seen him get involved too much in ganks. And I talked about the Shiver, but this Shiver has been literally sat in this top lane blocking Ancients, which is clearly getting on the nerves of Tree. But is it offering too much outside of blocking Ancients? I don't know. And so I'd like to see Tundra get involved. Like, he's got Portal Key for a reason. Try and get him involved in ganks. Use that Avalanche if they're not, looking up to sort of take a team fight in the next minute or so. So, look. Gonna try and take Congo though, it looks like.
Yeah, having that capability is nice, and they're gonna need it right here as they are, sure enough, attempting Congo. This Ward of Sight most certainly saw the Hellborn team going into it, and you can see Tree already making their way over to it. The Shiver in a spot to, well, at least ideally spot them coming in, but a good failed rot use right here from Doctor and Torture at least, as they're gonna be kind of coming in from a direction of trying to catch Mint off guard here. Doctor going in a little bit closer. Not going to be seen still, actually, but Mint has already somewhat retreated. Now, they are split off. We see this from time to time, where they each go kind of separate directions, and that could backfire, so you need to be a little careful with that. As a Curse is just like, you know what, I'm accursed. I'm just going to run in with no invis, because that's what I do. He would gladly accept if they jumped him here. But they're not going to do that. So, Conger about half-life, going to start regenning here. I don't know. It might just simply not be a Conger kill in the end at this rate, as both teams don't want to necessarily sacrifice themselves again with it. Such an even game still at this point, 26 minutes in. A Conger fight could really sway it one way or the other, so don't want to go over the top with it, but could be worth it at the same time if you feel like you can't actually get it. But Hellborn team clearly not comfortable enough, and they're going to farm elsewhere as a result of that. Want the next tier of items, and that looks like it is going to be a Hellflower on Puppet Master, as well as Dr. Repulsor, as we're talking about. Or could be Harkons, but no, it doesn't make sense this game. Probably going to be a Hellflower. Was that? Oh, what? Oh, that was a Shiver. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was a Courier for a second. I'm like, oh my god, but no message popped up. And that makes sense. Portal Key again on a Curse. See, now, last game they were in a good lead, and I kind of liked it, but this I don't know if I'd like it this game.
I like it more so in this game than it is in game 1. The reason being is because he needs to, particularly in this game against the Tundra and the Deadwood and the Puppet Master, he needs to have perfect position to make sure he gets a Fire Shield on the person that Mint are jumping. If Tundra jumps in, when he's nearly level 16 now, but if he jumps in and avalanches, for example, the Doctor Repulsor, he's going to be stunned for 4 seconds. In those 4 seconds, they can easily kill the Doctor Repulsor. If Boxy has the right positioning now with the Portal Key, he can easily Portal Key in and Fire Shield Doctor Repulsor away to safety, because obviously it removes all stuns on him. And the Portal Key is going to be vital to increase Boxy's mobility. Without a doubt, this Portal Key is really useful this game.
Yeah. I definitely see what you're saying. It is 2150 gold that was invested into this item and could have been elsewhere, but yeah, no, I mean, it does make sense as far as that mobility factor and just making sure to stay on top and whatnot. So we'll see how that comes into play. Now, as far as progressing further than this, again, the game kind of ended last game, but in my mind, I think something like a Brutalizer could be even decent on a Curse.
Yeah. There's something that Boxy does normally go as well. We haven't actually seen him go past these items on Carrier Curse. So that's something that whenever he plays it normally, when he actually normally plays it sort of short lane, I haven't really seen him play too much Suicide, but he goes these items as well. But sometimes he picks up the Dawnbringer and also the Brutalizer as well, because it's quite a nice synergy with obviously the attack speed from Seer, but also with the Brutalizer procs. Similar to how Madman picks up a Brutalizer, because it works quite well with his ulti. Similar to the factor with a Curse and Seer.
Exactly. So we'll see where he progresses here again. The 2150 spent on the Portal Key, another 800 gold though saved up. There's another Arcana purchased on Puppet Master, so he just needs the third one, and he's going to have his own Hellflower here. I think Doctor's about to finish his second one himself. Might just actually pull up the gold for it all. Whoa. Was that me, or was there a little bit of a hiccup there? That might have just been me, actually.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think it was you, because you literally went like AFK, or you just went silent for like a minute. I was like, is this me again? Or,
no, it looks like I had a very small amount of drop frames right there, but a little bit. So just a minor hiccup, no big deal. Everything's fine. Anyways. But, yeah, as I was saying again, the Hellflower is going to be the next key items here, it looks like. At this time, again, both teams not necessarily going over the top. As I say that, though, Tree is going over the top here. They are really trying to make a play. Everybody using the Veiled Rot. Will this work out? He is going to be exposed. They know that he is here. Glacius is going to be that target off the bat. As a curse also jumps into the Conquer Pit. That's an illusion. Puppet Master not the biggest deal. Avalanche on it. Dr. Pulsar. Dr. Pulsar melts right off the bat. Torture also picked off. Puppet Master, though, he's also in trouble. Because Kraken and a curse doing some good damage. Down goes Puppet Master. And now Tundra, the sole survivor on the Hellborn side. He is going to fall. A 5-for-2 exchange. Genocide for Willowkeeper right there. And I would think maybe finishing off Kongor makes a lot of sense here, as a curse actually got pretty low. He didn't even use his flame consumption there throughout the whole fight. Didn't even need to, apparently. So
yeah, I mean, actually, it was a slight misplay from Boxy. Like, he jumped in onto Kongor when he portal keyed over the team fight because he thought Puppet Master was low, but it was only an illusion. It had like 20% HP, and then as a result, he wasn't in position to get the fire shield off on Dr. Repulsor, and he got bursted down from the Tundra ultimate. But luckily, Root of Z was there to actually do a massive wormhole onto 2, and then Cracky followed up and just wiped the team after that. So yeah, they didn't really utilise the portal key from Boxy at all, but luckily it didn't matter, and they won the team fight regardless. Now, I don't think they were able to kill Kongor though. Okay. They didn't have the ability to kill it quick enough. Like, they're already up, and Cracky was really low HP, so was Riftwalker, and although a Curse could probably solo it, it would have took a longer than this time. So right play to make.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, part of me was like, I get that, and yeah, it's still somewhat earlier on in the game, so the resurrection timers aren't the longest right now, so just for not confident. What's going on middle lane, actually? Dr. Pulsar, well, he gets a pick off onto a Luna, apparently, and gets out of there before any counterplay happens, so well played, and as you can tell, Tree's starting to get a lot of momentum now, but talk about that Veiled. Again, this is still a newer item on the scene right now. It's only been in for, this is the second cycle here. But that was one of the more impressive uses we've seen of that item so far. I mean, this ward aside here in the middle lane, it had no clue. It had zero clue for the... sure, Dr. Pulsar eventually came out, but even with that, I mean, everyone else was still invis right behind him. And so, again, as a spectator, we can't appreciate, I think, as much as how powerful that Veiled Route was right there from Tree in the end. So, very, very good use.
Who needs portal key when you can use Veiled Route?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Gold.
Yeah, like literally they were on top of Mint and they just weren't expecting it, and as a result, they were a little bit chaotic in terms of the team fight, and that's because they were quite chaotic. Root of Z sort of capitalised on it. Oh, Tundra.
Boxy just going in YOLO mode right here. That's because he can't. Tundra is dropping. He got the avalanche up, and at what cost here? The charge out on a Deadwood. Deadwood's going to fall. The Riftwalker Wormhole also comes in, and down goes Glacius. You see Puppet Master in the background. He's able to pick off Doctor. Torture's dead as well, but a curse is like, you ain't going nowhere. Seer auto attacks going through, and down goes Puppet Master. A 4-for-2 exchange. They want more, but I think Luna is going to be fine in the long run. Don't want to dive too far right here, but man, look at a curse, by the way. A Firebrand pickup here.
It's going.
Boy, oh boy. Going the Dawnbringer.
Yeah, going Dawnbringer. And this is sort of the build that Boxy normally goes. He does actually follow up with a Brutalizer, unless he wants to go something a bit more damage-oriented. Because if he does go like Brutalizer, he's going to be 6-slotted. And I don't know if a 3,200 worth of item is enough for you to get him to where he needs to be as a hard carry. He might even try and go for maybe something Savage Mace, perhaps a bit more attack speed oriented, but we'll have to go and see. He's going to actually try and go up here on the Luna top lane.
Yeah, he's doing some auto attacks in there, but you see the Deja Vu, the tablet as well, and she will be fine, of course. But man, that was a couple of fights right here. What was just identical, pretty much golden experience. All of a sudden, look at just how much of a lead Tree has here because of those couple of fights. And, that's what I was getting back to earlier, though. Again, that's why both teams are somewhat hesitant to really go all out on Kongor. Both teams know with how close it was. One team wins a fight, and before you know it, they can start pulling away. It's kind of what we're seeing here from Tree. Now, it's not over, obviously, yet, but they got a lot of momentum out of that. Now, Puppet Master, ideally, well, he will. Yeah, there we go. He purchases the Hellflower as soon as he resurrects right there. So that's another very powerful tool for him. But this carry accursed, man, here...
It's working, isn't it?
We are seeing its potential. Boxy's making it very clear that there is some decent potential. Because again, I think it's one of those things too. It's sure the right clicks are doing plenty with the Seer procs and just because of his farm in general, but the shield constantly being used, his flame consumption, knowing even if he's not using it, knowing that you're going to constantly be looking out for that to be used, it's got to be frustrating to deal with too. So, is this another smoke gank? Yes, it is.
Shout out to all you accursed carry haters, man.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. All 5 again. The Shiver has no clue. It's not going to expose them. And Tundra's like, what the hell? walked right under the shiver because they could. They're just making great use of this field rot.
Definitely. And I have to say, like, I mean, I mentioned it a little bit before, I think on other casts, but Tree, I really think they do utilize smoke to one of the best teams in their game right now. Because, like, they said it before, I've spoken to Fruzen, and Fruzen said whoever utilizes the Veiled Rot to the most effectiveness will be the best team. And, I mean, clearly they're using it to great effectiveness now, just in this game alone. Because of that one pick, they get Congo. Like, particularly in the late game as well, one pick-off can mean so much. Now they get Token on Dr. Repulsor, now the next team fight is completely in favour of Tree. And that all becomes of that one smoke gang. So, yeah, just Tree really on point with their Veiled Rot gains.
Yeah, that's it. Veiled Rot has been the MVP this game. I mean, as fun as it's been watching Curse, I think it's safe to say that's been the MVP. And hey, both teams have access to it. Tree's just clearly very comfortable using it. They were really one of the first teams to start using it aggressively, as we noticed in Cycle 6 when it first came out. So, clearly using it to its full potential, and another tower kill goes down. The last outer tower remaining is this top one here. They're probably going to make their way up towards that. That looks exactly like where they're going here. Haste bottled up on Dr. Repulsor in the meantime. As, picks off the Shiver, making sure to take care of that. Yeah, Doctor's kind of a tough hero to have a Shiver against, to be fair, as well. Because he can just fly really anywhere, of course, and pick it off. And like certain heals where it goes over a cliff and they're like, well, crap, I couldn't get to it. He's just like, I don't care about cliffs. Presses R and does good stuff. So that's going to be a Demonic Breastplate coming shortly here for Krake. Playing the Kraken, so yeah, a lot of items just really coming together now for these for Willowkeeper here. Another this Shiver. Probosca's really trying, man, to get any kind of vision. And when he does get some kind of vision, apparently they just smoking through it. It's like, well, that was useless. So.
He needs to use the invisibility on it. No.
Yeah. Well, they're just catching it before he can do it, unfortunately. So, Hellborn team, what's going on here? And Fizz Puppet Master looking for a curse, but look at how fast he is. What is this movement speed? 410 right here. And that's without the Seer proc.
Yeah, exactly. So, Carrier Curse, man. Shout out to all you Carrier Curse haters. Yeah. Breaky, you were a Carrier Curse hater when I mentioned it at the start.
Oh, don't say that. I wasn't a Carrier Curse hater.
You're a non-believer.
I was a non-believer in the sense that, and to be fair, the first multiple games we saw it wasn't played any bit of a carry. But yes, Boxy showing us its potential of being a carry presence hero. Now he's going to be jumped right here by the Falcon Punch, taking some good damage on the pad. Oh, the nice Source Spear at the last second. Will keep him alive. Can he press R in time? Yes, he can. There's the Flame Consumption. Meanwhile, everything else going on, including Puppet Master, trying to run right now, but a Curse is back to nearly full life. What just happened? That is really awkward right there. Apparently Boxy froze in the process of instant pause coming out. Wormhole background initiation jumps in, and Aluna's in trouble right now. Tundra and Puppet Master also on the run. Accursed is still chasing. Puts on the shield, putting in some auto attacks, and now is going to be picked off actually, so maybe going a little too far does Tree. They get the tower, no racks killed, and now the Rotten Grasp is going to be coming out. But misses. Tundra's in chasing though, as well as the rest of the team. Dr. Pulse in the background, however, looking for a kill on Doa, but it might come at a cost. In fact, it definitely will. As he goes down, he does have the token though, going to come right back up, and he's going to fly right through. No, Doa, nice Portuguese, but he will catch Puppet Master. And now he's going for more, so yeah, I kind of forgot that he had that token. With the token, different story. As he does right there. Yeah, there is a buyback, however. It's going to be enough to save the Rex, at least.
Yeah.
At least for now.
I can back off.
Well, that was interesting, as far as how everything played out. Again, the Storm Spear from Root of Z right there, just saving Boxy.
Yeah. Again, man, the item is just so big and so clutch in a situation like that, particularly for heroes like Accursed as well, because like if you Storm Spirit someone that's on 10% HP, it doesn't really do too much, because you know when they come back down they're going to die again. But Accursed got off the flame consumption, got back to full HP, and did a lot of work in the team fight before he died as well. And like I was watching Accursed in the team fight, he really reminded me of like a Bloodseeker or Bloodhunter, sorry, in that example. Like he got all of his health back. Labyrinth does actually kill off Root of Z, and actually Luna might be in trouble as well.
He's definitely in trouble. Auto attack to finish him off, Balthazar. No ludicrous speed even needed right there. Again, doesn't have an icon or anything like that, so it's not like he's getting charged on Glacius, so it doesn't matter.
No stun.
It'll be fine. Yeah, nothing more he could have done right there. A cursed bottom lane, all of a sudden now Dead with Eladro. He also just uses Rotten Grasp. And even if he had, it might not have mattered. But yeah, gets chased down again. That Seer. That was a Deadwood running through trees, which normally helps. In normal cases, should be able to get away. But with the Frostbird and the Seer, he just cannot kite away from this Accursed right here. It goes back to the portal key you brought up earlier and how he definitely used that right there. Is he going staff, by the way? I think he is. I saw
maybe Frostwolf into Geos. It might be Frostwolf into Geos, I think.
No, well, I saw him buy Mighty Blade, so he might just be going Frostburn on top of... No, he is going staff. It's staff. Okay, so just to clarify, that increases the duration of his ultimate, and nothing more. But now it's 7 seconds.
Gives him
look at this. Look at this. He's immune. He's immune the whole time because he had it up.
No, it gives him the Berserker effect as well, though, because he can use it while silenced and stunned. So, like, I think if he didn't have the Stealth Master, he was actually...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Yeah, if he didn't have a staff there, then he was dead. So... Oh, that's got to be so frustrating. They literally used, like, everything right there, and he did not drop a single point of health.
They can't kill him now, though, because there's no way they can lock him down to kill him before he does it. Like,
that's a really good pickup on him, man. I totally forgot about the silence and stun thing. I thought it was just the increased duration, but wow. I didn't think
he was going to pick up because he has the Storm Spirit as sort of backup in terms of if he does get jumped, but it's always good in that respect. And now he glows and stuff, so that's definitely really important.
now he looks extra cool. That is a big factor. Yeah, that's got to be something. He was already so difficult to kill, and now knowing that you literally just do not focus this hero. They
can't kill him. Like, there's literally no way they can kill him. But at the same time, if they don't focus him, he's doing a lot of damage as well. So
yeah, that's one of those tough cases. See, he doesn't use it right. He could, but he doesn't use it right there. There's no point. Wasn't really panicked.
Because if he gets stunned, like, he can just pop it. So
yeah, they were trying to bait it out, you could tell, but yeah, he's not going to fall for that. He is getting somewhat low here, so he might need to use it in the near future, but all right, we're getting low boxy here. Oh, he tried for it, but no, he pops it just before the Falcon Punch, and now here comes the return. Puppet Master, look at Puppet Master. He's trying to get away this whole time. He will be able to in the end, and actually now Accursed is in trouble. He does not have the flank option. It doesn't matter, though. Down goes Tundra. Deadwood already picked up in the background. The wormhole, it does hit Puppet Master, and that could be the possible end, as there is no buybacks on the side of Mint right here. They're going to be staying dead, and they're just going to clean up the top set of racks. You look at Accursed using the Insanitarius right there, getting a little scary, but he's got it. Ultimate back in 30 seconds, yeah.
And patience from boxing. Like, he was really low as well, but he knew exactly when he needs to pop in, and he does. So. I think they're going to take 2 racks. There might even be a 3rd racks, actually. And I mean, I think this game is over. But simply, there's not much that big.
Might actually die right here if he's not careful. Okay, no, he's going to be fine. Sanitarius, red power throw, go! Oh no, GG, well played's being called. And that is going to do it. So Willowkeeper, well, they are going to survive, and they move on to the Losers Bracket Finals. It was not an easy road, though. Mint, a.k.a. Fresh, a.k.a. formerly known as Dawn, they taked him to 3 games, and hey, they took the first game off of them in very decisive fashion as well. So overall, a great series played, but Tree, 2-0 with the Curse, man. And Boxy, yet again, showing us another hero that can not only work in Suicide, but eventually be a big player later on in the game, as we definitely saw there. So, well played as a team, of course, but yeah, the carry Accursed was also a lot of fun to watch there. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously the smoke ganks were a big factor, but that Curse, man, he did so much work. Like, if you don't focus him, then like he does a lot of work, and then if you do try and focus him, you just can't kill him. So he's just kind of an immovable object breaker. There was no unstoppable force from Mint, so they couldn't get him. But I mean, I really do hate to say it, but I do like the strategy from Mint. Honestly, it was a great strategy. It worked out in the first 10 minutes, but I don't think they continued the gank potential. They picked up the Assassin's Shroud from Puppet Master and also Portal Key from Deadwood, but I have to say, Brady, Proboss, to me, didn't have a big impact in terms of ganking. He was focused a little bit more on farming, and I mentioned a little bit about the Shiver, how it didn't feel like it was used for the best purposes in terms of scouting potential, instead of blocking the Ancients. And yeah, I mean, I think they had easily the ability to win that game, Brady. Like, I think the draft was very much equal. I really did like the strategy from them, but I don't think they implemented it or executed it as well as they could have. But nonetheless, congratulations to Tree, and carry Accursed, man, 100% win.
Yeah, now just to clarify, I'm fairly confident this is the case, but no Fireblade will not remove a Curse Ultimate, correct?
No, it's a self-state. It's a self-state.
Yeah, again, I was very certain of that, but just to make sure, because people are thinking that out there. It's like, why did I get no Fireblade? But yeah, no, that's that doesn't work. So literally, there's no way to stop it, especially with the Staff of the Master. You just kind of have to accept it and play around it. Is what it comes down.